How's it going out there, YouTube land and all subsequent social media lands? Welcome to an all-new video. In this video, we're going to be reviewing a film that just came out in theaters at the beginning of this month, and is a DC film that a lot of people have been waiting for a long time for, so we're going to get right into that. But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video or any of the other videos I put up. And always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, where I pretty much post on a regular basis there too as well. So definitely check that out. And as always, people, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all-new video. So like I was saying before, we're going to be talking about a new movie that just came out a couple weeks ago, and is a DC film that a lot of people have been waiting for because it did get moved quite a few times, you know, because of the pandemic, and finally got released on March 4th. And that happens to be the film known as The Batman. Yeah. The Batman. Yeah. So The Batman is an amazing DC film that finally got released and is an epic adventure that clocks in at 2 hours and 57 minutes long, which I was really shocked it was this long of a film. I was expecting like 2.5, maybe 2 hours and 40, but I didn't expect it to be only a couple minutes shy of 3 hours. But I'll tell you, that 3 minutes, or even that 3 hour long runtime, still was worth the watch in theaters. This movie was amazing and so much fun. Now, this film happens to be directed none other by a gentleman that goes by the name of Mr. Matt Reeves. Yeah, Matt Reeves. Yeah. So Matt Reeves, you might recognize as the director of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, of the newer versions of the film that came out in the last few years. You might recognize him from a few other things. But one film I in particularly really enjoyed that he did an amazing job with was another one of the Planet of the Apes films. And that, of course, is a film called War of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah! War of the Planet of the Apes. Man, this movie was so amazing and just really showed Matt Reeves' directing style. I mean, with Dawn and with this one, he just really brought these films to life and made them so much better. The very first one that James Franco was a part of was not directed by him, and you could see how much Matt Reeves took from what that had that was good in it and emphasized it with these two. And with War of the Planet of the Apes, he just kicked butt. The action, the acting, the story, the whole ensemble of what occurred in that film was just so well received and so well done. And Matt just really showed that he has really great action chops and just a really good eye for cinema and just such a great job. If you haven't seen War for the Planet of the Apes, definitely check it out for Matt Reeves directing. He did an amazing job with it. Now, when it comes to the Batman film, he directed it so beautifully. I definitely think that, you know, at the start he could have progressed it a little faster. But other than that, he really brought to life this great neo-noir detective film with lots of great action and great acting with all. And he did such an amazing job just giving us these really great new characters, taking these already well-known characters that we have, you know, come to know over the years, you know, from the Penguin to the Riddler to Batman himself to Catwoman, all these different characters. He gave us such a great new spin and fresh spin on these characters, which was really nice. And he just had such a, like I said, he has such a great action eye. He made every single action scene in this film so well and so made so amazingly. Just, it was so fantastic. I mean, every aspect of it was so detailed and so great. His action choreographers and all the stunt choreographers and stuff like that, he just had a really good eye with them and gave these really well-rounded scenes that just were so well placed within the film. I mean, from that very first action sequence where it shows Batman come out of the shadows and he takes down all those like thug guys, you could just see that Matt did such a great job of bringing that to life and giving us this really great action sequence. You can see how well choreographed it was, and Matt did such a great job of just giving us like really great angles too as well at to where to hit it, so that you saw every single angle of how Batman fought. Especially, you know, him being only a crime fighter for 2 years too as well. It just was so well rounded and so well done. If you haven't seen Matt Reeves directing, definitely check out The Batman or War of the Planet of the Apes or any of the films he's directed. He's an amazing director and has such a great eye for action. So this movie has a really great ensemble cast that really kicks butt, that's really amazing, and each of the actors themselves are really great in other things. Some of them are less favorable in my eye, but otherwise are pretty decent in this film. Now to start us off is none other than Batman himself, Mr. Robert Pattinson! Oh yeah! Robert Pattinson! Woo! Robert Pattinson! Yeah! So Robert Pattinson, of course, you probably all recognize, of course, is Edward from Twilight. I know a lot of people, when he was cast as Batman, you know, the first thought a lot of people were thinking of was the Twilight guy got casted as Batman. Yes, you know, that wasn't my initial reaction to his casting. I didn't care. I don't care too much for him as an actor. I don't think he's that great. I think he's kind of over-exaggerated. And it's not because of Twilight, it's just his acting overall. I just have never really enjoyed it. But he really changed my eye in this film. He actually did a pretty decent job, and I was actually surprised. And his take on Batman was very different, even though they kind of went with that more emo type of look and vibe and feel and stuff like that. He still did a pretty decent job, and it really surprised me. He was enjoyable enough to watch the film, and it didn't ruin the film. Now, another film he was in that I actually like him in, I think is probably one of his best films to date, along with Batman, is a film that came out in 2011, I believe, and is basically about when 9/11 happened, and it's a rom-com kind of drama romance type of film called Remember Me. Oh yeah, Remember Me. Yeah. Remember Me. So this movie actually is really fantastic. I was really impressed by it overall, the whole film, and I was even really impressed with Robert Pattinson in it. Because I had just come off seeing him in a lot of the Twilight films. Really hadn't seen him in anything else. I mean, you know, he did Rover, he did The Lighthouse. I mean, he's done all kinds of films. But back when this came out, really only had seen him in the Twilight films. And so, you know, I thought he was okay in the Twilights. He wasn't the greatest, but he was okay. But this film really blew me away, and I thought he gave a really outstanding performance in this. And overall, just did a really good job. And I just enjoyed his dramatic element in it. I enjoyed how he presented himself. And also, I think that he gave an overall really great performance. If you haven't seen Remember Me, definitely check it out. It's worth the watch. But overall, I really enjoyed Robert Pattinson as Batman in this. I thought he did a pretty decent job. I liked his action sequences. I thought he looked perfect as Batman. He had a great look and build on him. He looked really amazing in the suit. And overall, I thought that he did a really good job as Batman. He's not my favorite Batman, but definitely he did a decent enough job and made it entertaining. Definitely check out Robert Pattinson if you're a fan, or if you're not, definitely give it a whirl in this Batman film. He actually was pretty decent. The next actress I like to talk about, or actor that was in this film, is none other than the lady that plays Catwoman herself in the film, Miss Zoey Kravitz! Oh yeah, Zoey Kravitz, woo! Zoey Kravitz, yeah! So Zoey Kravitz, of course, you might recognize from X-Men First Class, you might recognize her from Kimmy, you might recognize her as Lisa Bonet's daughter, or Jason Momoa's stepdaughter, or, you know, kind of deal. But Zoey Kravitz is, you know, she's an okay actress. She's okay. She was another one that I wasn't too in love with being portraying Catwoman. I didn't think she looked the part. I don't think she really has the dynamics for the character, and I just didn't think that she was the right choice. But after seeing the film and seeing how little screen time she actually had, she wasn't that bad. For what she was given, she actually did a pretty decent job. I was actually kind of like happy the kind of screen time they gave her, and that it wasn't all out Catwoman in this film. Kind of like what they did with what's-her-face in The Dark Knight Rises, Anne Hathaway's character as Catwoman. They gave her a lot of screen time, and I like that they didn't do that with this Catwoman in this film, to kind of give you a little more mystery about her and so forth. So I thought they did a good job there, and I thought Zoe did an okay job. After seeing her in this, I thought she was decent. I thought that she was okay, and I didn't think that it ruined the film, and I didn't feel like she was, you know, a bad choice after all for the role. Now, one film that I really enjoyed her, and I think is one of her all-time best roles, and one of my favorite films of hers, is a great film that Scarlett Johansson starred in back in 2015, 2016 time. And that, of course, a film called Rough Night. Yeah, Rough Night. Yeah. I I actually love this movie. I think it's fantastic. I think it's funny. I think it's awesome. And Zoey was amazing in it. She did such a great job. She was so funny in it. She was very endearing. And I just really enjoyed the character she brought to the film. And I just really enjoyed that, you know, playing this, you know, kind of very successful woman that is, you know, in a divorce and is trying to deal with having custody of her kid. I thought she did a really good job of bringing that to life and giving this really good performance, along with being very comedic in the film, too, as well. I just really enjoyed her in this film. I thought that this is one of her best roles. I really thought she did a good job. If you have not seen Rough Night, definitely check it out for Zoey's performance in it. She was actually really superb in it. And overall, though, like I said, I thought she did a decent job in the film. And I thought that she did add some great addition to this film. If you haven't seen her or anything, definitely go check her out in The Batman Now in theaters. She wasn't actually that bad. So that brings me to the final actor I like to talk about that was in this film. And I think this person is the best person in this entire film. He made this film one of the best movies ever. And that, of course, is Mr. Paul Dano. Oh, yeah, Paul Dano. Woo, Paul Dano. Yeah, Paul Dano. Oh, my God. I love Paul Dano. He's so freaking amazing. This guy, when I saw that he was cast as Riddler, that automatically made me want to see this film, because Paul Dano is the epitome of awesome acting. And from, you know, There Will Be Blood to his rendition of being Brian Wilson in the Beach Boys film, to anything really he does, he's just an amazing actor and does such a great, amazing job. Now, he has been, like, in so many different films, so many good films, and he just really rocks and is so awesome. But one of my all-time favorite roles of his is a great film that he did a few years back, along with the amazing Steve Carell, Greg Kinnear, Abigail Breslin, and so forth. And this is one of my all-time favorite movies of his. And then, of course, a film called Little Miss Sunshine. Yeah, Little Miss Sunshine. He is absolutely epic in this film. Majority of the film, he's not speaking, he's writing on a piece of paper, but when he does start talking, it is so immensely amazing and passionate and just so freaking awesome. He is so amazing in that film. He just, down to the T, he played that character so perfect and so on point, and just was an amazing performance all over. If you haven't seen Little Miss Sunshine for his performance, definitely check out Paul Dano in that film. He was so amazing in it. But overall, him as the Riddler was so amazing. The voice, the look, the acting, the vibe, everything he gave of the Riddler was so amazing. And also, I thought it was a great kind of different take on the Riddler too. Kind of him being kind of like almost like a terrorist, but at the same time, he's kind of in his infancy of being a criminal, too, as well. Kind of like how Batman's only in his second year of being Batman. And I liked that angle. I thought that was a great angle, and I loved how Paul played it off and gave us this really amazing performance. Oh my God, if you have not seen The Batman yet, definitely check it out for Paul Dano's Riddler. He was superb, amazing, and freaking fantastic. Just a couple honorable mentions in this film, of course, some other great actors in this film. Colin Farrell as the Penguin. He was so awesome in that. He was so great in this film. He was another great addition to this movie, and I can't wait to see his amazing and awesome Penguin spin-off series that they're going to do on HBO Max. But Colin Farrell was so awesome as the Penguin. He was perfect. His voiceover, everything about it was just as good as Paul Dano in this film, and he also made the film very enjoyable. Can't forget Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon, or as just, you know, Detective Gordon in this film. He wasn't Commissioner yet. He was really amazing too as well. Just want to throw those honorable mentions out there who were other two great additions to this film. But if you have not seen The Batman yet, what exactly is this film about? So basically what The Batman is about, it's Batman's second year as being Batman, and he has come across this new threat who is the Riddler. And his name keeps getting thrown out there by the Riddler in all the crimes he's committing. And basically, Batman has to use his detective sleuthing to figure out why he's aiming at him, what the Riddler's up to, what he can do to stop him, and save Gotham from this craziness that's happening. It's an amazing film. I was really blown away by it. Like I said, the very first third of the film was really slow to begin with, but after that, this movie kicks butt and just, like, is amazing and awesome and so much fun. Really well done, really amazingly acted, really amazingly viewed. I mean, all the CGI work, all the action sequences, everything about this film was just so beautifully done, and it looks so superb too as well, and just so amazing in all of its aspects as well. The music is fantastic. All around, a really amazing film. I give this film a giant 10 Golden Movie boxes up. You know, and I would say 9 Golden Movie boxes up, just because that first beginning was a little slow. I give it 9. It was such an amazing film still. Really fun, really enjoyable, and all around a great new addition to the DC universe. I know it's not a part of the DCEU, but still it's a great addition to DC themselves, and really going back to that Detective Comics, which DC stands for. This film really brings to life. If you have not seen The Batman yet, go check it out now in theaters. Amazing film. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been here before, don't forget to check out any older, newer videos you might not have seen yet. And always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube and want to show support for the channel, definitely check out my awesome links down below. Either from my Patreon page, where I give my awesome Patreon subscribers all kinds of cool additional accoutrement you don't get on my YouTube channel, from outtakes, bloopers, all kinds of cool stuff like that. You know, saying what I do next, all that kind of cool stuff. So definitely check that out too. As always, people, if you're a huge horror fan, definitely check out the Horror Pack link, where you get great horror films in either DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K formats right to your door for every low price. So definitely check that out too. As always, people, catch you in the next one!